Hello, it's Future Dash here to talk about Materia Keeper. So, first things first, we got to get to Materia Keeper, and we got to go through Mount Nibel. So, first thing is just, after you do Cosmo Canyon skip, we bring the buggy up here. Remember, once you're past Mount Nibel, or once you're past Cosmo Canyon, you can start moving diagonally again just to make your way up here. Remember to keep buggy skipping, though, to not get into any encounters. And we come up straight here to Nibelheim. And so, we just got to get into Nibelheim here. And as you come in, just buffer right and run in order to run into this cutscene trigger here at the start. You get just a couple lines of dialogue, and then we go. Now, right away in Nibelheim, there is a safety strat that you can do if you want, especially if you are not super confident in your Materia Keeper. So if you're just running and you're going full speed, right, then you just run through here. You just go all the way through to the back, right? And you just leave out here, and that's all you do. But if you're not super confident in your Materia Keeper, or you just want an extra elixir for some other reason, you can actually come into this room, and this guy at the back has an elixir. So you can talk to this guy, and I think and he gives you an elixir. I think you can even just buffer, like, up, right, and run for the first bit of it, because this room controls kind of weirdly. Yeah, up, right, and run brings you straight to him, and there you go. And then just try to figure out how to leave this very strange area. So there you go. You can grab that elixir if you need. Now, I'm not going to, though. I don't do this in runs, but it's a nice little tip for you. Anyway, just come straight back here. Don't need to bother ourselves with anything here. And now, for this world map traversal, don't be worried about it, because if you observe our negative 140 fractions here that you get from loading into the world map, and this is even without the 13 fractions. We got 8 fractions over for a battle check, which means if you're just buffering up as you load into that part, in fact, we'll do that here real quick. If you're already buffering up so you get your 13 extra fractions, there's not even enough time for a battle check to occur. So it's actually impossible to get a battle there. If you move correctly, which can just be literally just holding up. But I do like to do a little bit of a right move to get around that little bump right there. But that's it. There you go. No battle checks even occurred. Okay. So then we get into Mount Nibel here. And this area is a little interesting as far as movement goes. Movement here is very weird. Because there's a lot of snaking and zigzagging and stuff. Basically, just all of the principles about trying to, do your corners as tight as possible, brush on walls where it points you in the right direction and that kind of thing, is all important here. But if you're on this step route, you're not planning on getting a battle until all the way back here. But otherwise, this is this place. So I start out buffering up and right, and then switch to just right somewhere up here, and then switch to down right when I can. Down right all the way until we switch right to go around this little thing. And then I switch to just up, and usually about here is where I switch to right and up to get myself past this corner, right? And then that's going to bring us up here where we switch to up, and then start going directly left as soon as possible. So upright into just up, into directly left. Did I say directly right? I meant directly left. And then if you go directly left here, you'll run into a spot right here. But any amount of down left that you do, extra is suboptimal. So you want to do the tiniest little L1 tap to get yourself around this corner. And any extra is extra. So left, tiny little L1 tap right there to get past that. And then right here is kind of your usual zigzag, where it's like up left into directly up. Once you're kind of getting around this thing, switch to up right, which is going to brush you on the top side of this now, to then go up and then into directly left here. So like up, up left into up right, up into left. Zigzag as best you can. And then once again, if you're on this step route, you're going to be expecting a battle right here on this slope. And this one is going to be 2 grasshoppers. Now, I usually, actually, this is the first time I think that this comes up in the run. These guys do a lot of damage. And so I usually actually buffer defends on this fight by holding right in circle instead of left in circle, just for some safety, because these guys are kind of scary. You know, it might get you hit. We might have gotten an extra escape without that, but hey, you know, I don't know. That's what I do. Anyway, then on this step route, you would take 13 steps right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and it's directly left until this rock right here, at which point you switch to up left to get onto the bridge, and then I just hold up left just all the way through this screen. Bum, bum. All right. Then we get onto this part. You have the different pipes that you go down, and it is absolutely imperative you have to go down pipe 2 in order to get the power soul. If you and so the safe way to do it is to go straight left until you're over the pipe and then straight down into the pipe. You can cut the corner if you want, but you're risking accidentally going down pipe 1, which if you accidentally go down pipe 1, you don't get the power soul, you can't get back up there, you're screwed, your run is basically dead. It is dead. So just try to be careful. It is good to cut the corner a little bit if you can to save steps, but just be really careful not to go into that one pipe, that's all. And pop down right here. If you did want to cut the corner and you go left, you have to be about right here. Maybe even one fraction further to start adding left, and then you'll be safe. So yeah, like until Cloud is, maybe you could say when he's between these two pipes that are above him, right? You can add in the down if you want to save that little bit. But there we go. Okay, who's ready to talk about Materia Keeper? I would like to preface this fight by saying, don't give up. This fight is one of the most complicated fights in the game. It might be the most complicated fight in this game. It's really hard to learn it. It's really hard to master it. And even if you've mastered it, it still kills runs. So don't get discouraged. You can do it. I believe in you. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about Materia Keeper. So here is the entire idea of the Materia Keeper fight. All we need in order to explain Materia Keeper is a calculator. Materia Keeper has 8,400 HP. Yeah? 8,400 HP. Now, how poison works in this game, we're going to poison him. And how poison works is every time that poison hits an enemy, it does 1/32 of their max HP in damage to them, rounded down. This game always rounds down. So if we divide 8,400 by 32, we can see that will do, it always rounds down, so that will do 262 damage to him. Okay, so here's the deal. If you take his 8,400 starting HP, and poison hits him once, and then poison hits him a second time, and on top of 2 poison ticks, you also did 99 damage to him, that leaves him with 7,777 max HP. Now, this game has a hidden mechanic in it that is called Lucky Sevens. And that mechanic is that any character, including an enemy, if ever they have exactly 7,777 HP, current HP, it makes it so that all damage that they deal, it is changed to 7,777 damage. Every attack that they deal does 7,777 damage. Now, also, poison is programmed in such a way where it essentially counts as self-inflicted damage, which means, theoretically, if an enemy has 7,777 max HP and they are poisoned, then a tick of poison will just do 7,777 to them and kill them. And that is exactly how we fight Materia Keeper. So the way that we fight Materia Keeper is He starts out with 8,400 health. We are going to cast Bio on him, which is going to poison him, and it's going to do somewhere in the realm of 75 damage to him. Now, then, we are going to attack him with Tifa, which is going to do somewhere in the realm of 24 damage to him. Then he's going to get poisoned. He's going to get poisoned. And, or poison's going to tick, and then poison is going to tick and kill him. When we cast, so there's a couple other details that you have to understand though. When we cast the Bio, it's not necessarily going to do 75. It might do 74. When we attack him with Tifa, it might not do 24. It might do 23. But it's kind of like the Price is Right. You want to do up to 99 damage without going over. You want to do as much as possible, as close as possible to 99 without going over. Because if you do slightly less than 99, and then the poison ticks him, and then the poison ticks him, we can then use Kate Sith's transform materia that he came with. Kate Sith has the spell Mini, and he is able to mini one of our own party members, and a minied character can go up and hit Materia Keeper for 1 damage, and then hit Materia Keeper again for 1 damage. Boom, just in time for that third poison tick, which will do quad 7s to him. One other thing you have to think about is that when you cast poison on Materia Keeper, it might not poison him. He has 8,400 health. Whoops. He has 8,400 health. The Bio might do 75 damage and not poison him. And so if that happens, instead of throwing in the attack with Tifa, you have to just potion him and try again. So if you potion him for 100, that will over-heal him back to 8,400. And then you just try the Bio again. Oh, it didn't poison him? Okay, potion him. That over-heals him back to 8,400. Try the Bio again. Right? And so that's basically all of the... that's basically all of the theory. So now we have to talk about how to do that. So the way that we get Bio to do the right amount of damage and Tifa to do the right amount of damage is, first of all, we pick up this item here called the Power Soul. We're going to be talking a lot about the Power Soul later. Right now, we just use it for the increased damage. And so if you go and equip Cloud back down to the Buster Sword and up to the Silver Armlet, but then over to Tifa, bring her up to the Mithril Armlet and up to the Power Soul, this will now get their stats to be somewhat similar or somewhat close to a certain amount. Basically, what we're looking for is at level 13, which in a normal run, Cloud should be level 13 at this point. He should have 31 magic. That is ideal. I forgot to do another thing, though. So what I do is after... The thing is, our materia is already kind of messed up. So let's get ready for what I was just saying, which is Cloud has only poison. Kate Sith has transform and enemy skill. Kate Sith is also going to need all restore on him for the fight, and then Tifa is going to need enemy skill on her. We'll get rid of steel just for simplicity for now. So at this point, Cloud is level 13, and we want him to have 31 magic, or 31 magic attack is technically what we're looking at, but they should be the same. 31 at level 13 is perfect. Now, if Cloud has died, if he's missed out on some experience, a level 12 Cloud, you want to have 32 attack in order to make up for it for the damage rolls. Tifa, at level 12, we want to have 50 attack power, which I believe should be directly equivalent to 22 strength, if you would rather remember it that way. But I remember it as 50 strength and 31 magic attack. Personally, I actually look at magic and then attack, which is kind of unequivalent to look at stats and then, but it doesn't matter. So we actually happen to have perfect rolls here. We've got perfect rolls on this example. We've got 31 magic on Cloud, 50 attack power on Tifa. That's perfect. But let's talk about what's usually going to happen, which is that usually you would have to adjust their stats a little bit. So things that you can do, some can't be done, is we have green, red, power source, leather glove. We've got a lot of tools in our arsenal in order to make up for this. For example, let's just say that Cloud rolled his magic too low. Let's say he only has 30 attack power, or 30 magic. Well, then all you can do in order to bring him up to the 31 is just put another green materia on him, because his strength doesn't matter, and that will raise his magic by 1. Let's say Tifa rolled too high. She's at 51 attack power. Same thing. You can put a green materia on her to lower her strength by 1. That'll bring her down to the 50 that you want. Because remember, you don't want to over damage. If you were to accidentally hit Materia Keeper for 100 instead of the 99, then the 262, you blew past quad 7s. I don't know if I was that clear about that before. Remember that when you cast the bio, which is going to do in the realm of 75, and Tifa is going to attack for the realm of 24, what you are attempting to do is roll 99. You're trying to add it up to 99 in your head. So if it doesn't add up to 99, if in the fight it adds up to like 97, you just think, okay, that's 97. We got to hit him twice with a minied character to do one, get the 99, because that's how you get the quad 7s. If you hit him for 100 though, you're in trouble. You did too much damage. You're gonna have to potion him and try again. Anyway, so that's back to that for a second, so that we can get back to why we don't want them to be too strong here. So there you go. We happened to roll perfectly here, but there are many things to talk about how their stats might look. Okay, so here's the hypothetical where you've got your materia and your equipment all set up, and you take a look at their stats and you see, okay, Cloud. The way that I would just say this in my head, right, is Cloud needs 1, Tifa's perfect, right? Because we need to bring Cloud's magic up by 1 in this case, and then Tifa's fine. So you would just come into materia, you would give Cloud an ice, and then you don't have to look, but if you were to look, there you go. Cloud's magic is now correct. Tifa's strength is now correct. All right, so a very similar hypothetical. You would see that Cloud needs 1. His magic is 1 too low. Tifa needs 1 because her strength is 1 too high. So then, just like that, you would pop in here, put ice on Tifa, fire on Cloud, just 1 on each, and then you could see that shores them up. All right, so let's talk about the other way, though. So equipping green materia on the characters is very, very easy. What if, however, Cloud's strength or Cloud's magic is too high? If you check out your status after your business, and you see that Cloud is at 32 magic and Tifa's at 50, you can't lower Cloud's magic because he needs to have poison on him, and that's all the materia that he has equipped. So the way that I handle it is if Cloud has 1 magic too high at level 13, then I lower Tifa's strength by 2 extra in order to offset it. So she needs 48 attack power. And one thing to worry about is that for every green materia that you equip, it lowers Tifa's max HP. So one thing that you can do in order to protect from Trine, the thing is, if you lower her HP too much, then Trine will kill her. if he opens with that. And so you can also offset that by having one of the green materia that you equip on her be lightning, and have that be on the armor, which is linked, and you can put elemental on it. So lightning elemental will protect her from getting killed by Trine at the start. It'll also protect her from getting a limit break, because one thing I haven't mentioned yet in this menu is that you also want to reset Tifa's limit, because she's going to need to do that regular attack, and she can't have a limit for that. But anyway, so then what you would end up with is a 32 magic cloud, 48 attack power on Tifa. That would make up for it. Now, what if you get in here and Cloud's magic is 33 after you've done your equipment and materia? This is really rough, because for a 33 magic Cloud, what I would do is bring Tifa's attack power down to 45. So it's 2 extra down for the first extra magic on Cloud, 3 additional down for a total of 5 if his magic is another higher. And so in order to do that, I actually take the power wrist off of Cloud so I can bring Tifa back down to the leather glove, but then give her the power wrist. Because the leather glove is 15 attack weaker than the power soul, and then the power wrist raises her strength by 10, and so that will bring her to 45 to make up for his 33 magic. Now, beware, if you do that though, if you do the menu like I did, then you would have put enemy skill on this slot, which is now non-existent because of the leather glove. So just be aware, if you put the leather glove on, that you'll need to come in here and put enemy skill back on Tifa in order to worry about, or to fix that. And now, if Tifa wasn't at 50, let's say you have just a crazy beefcake party, right? And Tifa was at greater than 50 and Cloud's at 33, then you also have these 2 slots to put green materia on to lower her strength as well. Let's talk about one more thing. So we've talked about if Cloud's magic is too high, then you can lower Tifa's strength to make up for it. Yeah. You can also have the opposite happen, where Tifa's strength is too low. So let's say Tifa's strength is at 48 when you look at it. Well, Tifa's strength is at 48. That would be what you wanted if Cloud's magic was 32. So if you got a nice normal roll of 31 on magic, but Tifa's strength is all the way down at 48, well, then just give Cloud another green materia to bring him up to the extra of 32 to make it as if it was 32 and you had to bring Tifa down to 48. It's the same thing, right? Now, what if Tifa's strength is... What if she rolled at where it's 49? That's in the middle, right? That's wishy-washy. One thing that you can do to just make up for a 49 Tifa with a well-rolled Cloud is, at this point in the game, at the bottom of Costa del Sol's villa, there was a power source. And so you can just use this power source to raise Tifa's strength by 1, and then there you go, she's at the 50. So that's a lot of information, but basically those are all the tools that you have at your arsenal in order to get the characters at the right stats. You want, once again, that is a level, ultimately what you want is a level 13 Cloud should have 31 magic / magic attack, or a level 12 Cloud should have 32. A level 12 Tifa should have 50 attack power or 22 strength, and a level 11 Tifa, if she's missed out on some experience, should have 51 attack. And so do your best to make that happen. So all of that stat business is just how you roll the 99. So now let's talk about the actual menu of how you do this. So let's say I just got here, I just came down the pipe, okay, it's time to do the menu. How I do the menu is right after grabbing the Power Soul, I go right into the menu, and the first thing to do is we need to get Cloud tranquilized from the Fury that he's in. So that's just a double tap tranquilizer on him to bring him to sadness. Then I go straight down to equip, And for each equipment, there's only one item that it can be changed to, and we want to just change Cloud's weapon and armlet and Tifa's weapon and armlet. And so it's just a double tap, go over to Tifa, double tap, ping, 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 super easy. Then square over to your Materia, and I R over to Cloud and just get rid of everything that's not poison. So that's boom, boom, boom. R over to Katesith, and go up to his Manipulate, which I switch out. I R1 down and switch that to an enemy skill. And then go down to this one, go 1 up for the Restore, over to this one that's linked to it, L up to all. And then from that all, if you've been doing your Materia just like I do, at this point you can R over to Tifa, go up, and then from the spot that all was, the enemy skill is a single R1 down. So get the enemy skill on her. I don't bother taking the steel off at this point. I just replace the steel with the green if I have to. Some people actually put Manipulate on Tifa here because the Power Soul gives double AP, and we are about to fight a boss that's going to give double AP, and then we're about to sell the Manipulate Materia after this, and so it actually gets you some more money to work with, just a little bit, if you put Manipulate on Power Soul here. That's something that I don't do yet, but I might in the future, who knows. But anyway, so that's the Materia. Then we pop down. I mentioned we need to reset Tifa's limit, because she needs to do a regular attack in the fight. And so the way that you can do that is if you go into the limit menu, and even though she's already on limit level 1, if you just set her to limit level 1, it resets her limit back to 0. And so you can get rid of it that way. Then, if you aren't already an ATB weight, you have to already be an ATB weight. I don't switch it to active before this, so I'm already in it, but that's just imperative that you are in ATB weight. And then, at this point, you've done your equipment, you've done your Materia, you've reset Tifa's limit, so now is when I go into status, I see, in this case, Tifa's perfect, Cloud's perfect, okay, go up to Magic with Katesith, heal the party, and we are ready. So once again, to do that menu just a little bit faster, that's grab the Power Soul, pop in here, Tranks, equipment, boom, 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 Materia, boom, whoops, just like that. Limit on Tifa, status Tifa, perfect, perfect. Katesith, couple of heal alls, and then we are ready for the fight. Okay. So all of that said, it is now ready to talk about the fight. So a very brief refresher. He's got 8,400 health. And so what we're going to do is we're going to bio him for something in the realm of 74 damage. We're going to Tifa attack him for somewhere in the realm of 24 damage. Poison's going to tick on him. Poison's going to tick on him. Then we're likely going to use a minied character to deal 1 damage to him to bring him down to quad 7s, and then the quad 7s will kill him. So how exactly we achieve that is I generally, and even, the thing is, this is a very complicated fight once again. So even if things go right and we do our opener, which is we want to big guard with Tifa firstly, because Big Guard puts a barrier and an M barrier on every character, and it hastes them, which hasting is very important for the weight tricking. Then Kate casts his mini on Cloud, just in case we're going to need to do those single attacks. And then Cloud does his bio. That's my opener if things are going okay. And then at that point, just do the thing, and we'll talk about it. Now, this is still if he doesn't trine or kill somebody on his first turn. So let's get in there and let's show it. One more thing, especially if you're not on a save, if you're not on a step route and you're not super confident, there is a save point right here. Feel free to save. Feel free to save, all right? But if you're strictly on a step route, the step route is too strict to go way out of your way to save, and so don't if you're on a step route. And also, I should really mention that if you're on a step route, the way that we do here is you go straight down and Cloud jumps down here, and then there's this little like thing right here that you have to get around. So it's like an upright into down right to get to Materia Keeper, and just kind of bonk right into him, you know? And that's fine. So, anyway, okay, it is time to fight. So the very first thing that you do in this fight is what we ideally want to do is, like I said, big guard with Tifa, mini on Cloud with Kate, and then bio with Cloud. But there's several things to keep in mind. First is that we need to wait and see what his first turn is before we do anything. Because if it's Trine, we have to change our plan. And if it's crit hell combo, we have to change our plan. If it's neither of those things, though, just do it. Now, if we are just doing it, we need to do the wait trick thing, which is that his ATB bar is full during his turn. So that's a perfect time for us to queue up Big Guard, Mini on Cloud, hold time with Cloud. Don't just throw the bio out there, because that will give him ATB unnecessarily. And with a hasted Tifa from Big Guard, we can actually get a second Tifa turn in before his second turn if we wait trick properly. So what I do is I just highlight enemy skill on Tifa in order to, while I see what he's doing. So first, highlight E skill. He's hell comboing, so we see if it's a crit. It's not a crit, so we Big Guard, Mini Cloud, and get into magic here to hold time on this bio. And so I didn't do it perfectly, but you saw as quickly as possible during MK's turn, I held time with Cloud on this bio, not putting it through right away because we don't want to put it through until at least Tifa's ATB bar is empty. But you should really just do it when Kate Sith's bar is empty so that they can both, wait until Kate Sith's bar is empty as well, and you'll see why. So anyway, now we got Big Guarded, the mini went off, and so now is when we start to deal our damage. So I'm going to put the bio through, and what we do is put it through, immediately hold time with Tifa. So now we're holding time with both Kate and Tifa have their bars full. And the reason that I'm just holding time here is because we don't know what we're going to do with Tifa yet. If the bio hits and poisons, we're going to attack with Tifa to try to do that 99 damage. If the bio hits and doesn't poison, we need to potion the boss with Tifa to heal him back up to full health to try the bio again. So, let's see what happens. It hit, but it did not it did not poison. So that means we need to potion. Now, if I am handling my ATB and menuing properly, you'll see he didn't get another turn yet, the boss. And so, boom. Oh, but he was just sitting right there, so I didn't quite get an extra turn. So I used the time during the boss's turn to at least let Cloud's ATB fill up, so that now we can do this. We'll hold time with Tifa again. 73, so once again. So now I'm holding time with Kate until Tifa's bar is empty so that I can resynchronize Cloud with Tifa to hopefully wait trick better on the next turn. So now we're healing him back to full. She's good, so now we release time, queue up a bio, hold time with Tifa. So now we're definitely wait tricking properly on this one. Alright, that one poisoned. So it did 72, so at this point, with Tifa holding time, we throw out the attack and hold time. 72-26. So you have to do the math real quick. 72-26, that's 98 damage. And so 98 damage means we only have to hit him one time on top of the 2 poison ticks with Cloud to bring him down to quad 7s. Now, let's talk about something else. Now actually is when the fight gets really good. I'm going to save state here and just kind of show you what the idea is first. The idea is, first, he's going to get a poison tick. Then, he's going to get his second poison tick. Then, we do our 1 damage, and he dies. Now, the thing I did at the end there was kind of tricky. So I want to wait until the end to do that last damage. And here's why. If we were to just, if we were to just do the 1 damage right away, the first poison tick happened. Now the second poison tick happened, and now we're in a very dangerous spot, because now he's in quad 7s, which means if Materia Keeper gets a turn, it just does quad 7s, and then he dies to the poison. So you don't really want to get him into quad 7s too early. So one thing that you can do to mitigate this is you can throw a potion and just let time flow. And what that does is it wastes enough time for another poison tick to happen to him. Basically, we'll talk about this more in a second, but there's this imaginary ATB bar that poison has that if his poison, it's all okay. So in order to like explain this, we have to talk about poison ATB. So poison actually works on ATB, sort of, just like the boss does. So basically, the idea is the ATB, when it queues up a tick, just like a character who's queuing up their turn, the ATB is stuck full until it ticks. And so what happens is Materia Keeper's ATB is slightly faster than the poison's ATB. And what happened last time was, what happened on the last turn was the poison tick queued up during Materia Keeper's turn, and then I was holding time. And it actually doesn't even matter that I was holding time. It effectively creates the same thing that weight tricking does, where the ATB on poison is stuck full, and then in the blink of an eye, it empties out with the poison tick at the same time that Materia Keeper's turn finishes and the ATB empties out, which means that the poison and his ATB are now racing, and Materia Keeper will win. Materia Keeper will get his turn, just like this, and now the poison just ticked. The poison just queued up, which is why after his turn, he immediately dies to it, right? So all we need to do is essentially waste just a little bit of time before the poison tick happens, or before his turn happens, in order to allow the poison tick to queue up on our turn instead of his turn, right? So this is if he's already at quad 7 health. The really important thing to remember about this as well is this is also what you would do if you rolled 99. I mentioned that the reason that we're in this position right now is because I hit the 1 damage to bring him into quad 7s early. This would also happen if you just rolled 99 with your bio and your Tifa attack. So there's a few ways to do it. So as we see, once again, if we just let time flow, he gets his turn and he kills somebody. If we just throw a potion, that wastes enough time where now the poison kills him. So that's why you see very often people will throw a potion at the end of this fight, is to get that to happen. Another thing that people do in order to waste time is they'll queue up a character attacking themselves, like Tifa attacks herself. That works also. You can also change rows, and that works. The row change is pretty risky, but, you know, I've done it. I think attacking a character is probably the sweet spot between what is fast and what is safe. I think having Tifa attack herself is probably the fastest, safest thing. One thing, depending on the length of animation of thing that you're doing, is just remember, if you're doing a quicker animation, such as a cloud attack, you have to wait just a moment before you actually put it in, or the animation will actually finish before the poison ticks, and then he gets his turn. So you do have to be careful of that. But the Tifa attack generally takes long enough. The potion takes long enough. You're totally fine. Okay. One last thing to point out about this is a very easy mistake to make, is that with all of this talk about hold time, wait trick, ATB wait, hold time, you might make the mistake of sending in your last attack and then holding time, except doing that actually ruins it. And now he gets his turn, because you held time when you weren't supposed to. The whole point of doing the Tifa attack is to waste time to let the poison tick up. Yeah? Let's show another one. So once again, we'll go a little faster this time. First thing is to see what he's doing while we while we get on Tifa. He is hell comboing. Is it a crit? No crit. That does still suck, though, because that's a lot of damage. So we might want to potion Tifa for safety at some point. Alright, send that in. Hold time with Tifa. 70. See how the wait trick let Tifa get this turn in before his turn, which is nice because now during his turn, Tifa's ATB gets to fill up again. And now she's already waiting. So we potioned, we re-bio, 73. I'm going to do that safety cure on Tifa that I was talking about. Alright, try the bio again. This time, poison stuck with 71. $71.25, that's 96. We have to hit him 3 times, so 1, and then hold time. So now this is important. Now you do want to hold time because you have to be constantly thinking about the fact that you need to get 3 hits in before the 3rd poison tick. And so now is when we sort of need to imagine the poison ATB in our heads. So we had 1 poison tick and 1 hit. Two hits. Now the second now I successfully held time long enough where he didn't get another poison tick just now. He's gonna get it like during the next turn, kind of, while we wait here, which actually is a little bad. I should have actually allowed time to pass there, because then he would be sitting at, we need to hit him once for the 3rd poison tick. So it would have actually been good if he had already been hit by the... Oh, wait, no, because Cloud's ATB is still filling up. So that's why I did it, is because we need Cloud's ATB to fill up. So we're just going to defend with Kate there. Hit that, allow time to pass, and there you go. So what happened there was I didn't account for the fact that he was going to get another turn. That was the strat. So... because Cloud's ATB was empty, yeah, I wanted to be safe and hold ATB low for the poison. That then allowed the second tick to occur during Cloud's ATB going up. That then allowed Materia Keeper to get a final turn while he had 7778 HP, meaning he's not going to kill someone with quad 7s. I queued up Cloud's turn during his turn and then held time so that the poison tick would not queue up during Materia Keeper's turn, because then it would have ticked past quad 7s before Cloud's 1 damage happened. So then that's why, boom, we got the 1 damage, putting him into quad 7s while the poison tick queued up during Cloud's turn. He's dead. All right. It is time once again. I mean, I think we just need to keep showing these, because this is how you get good at the fight, is you just keep getting used to controlling the poison ATB. Okay, he's hell comboing. Is it a crit? No crit. I don't think I got the wait trick this time, because I got confused as to which character I was on. All right. $70. Oh, I did get it. So there you go. There's Tifa's extra turn. So cure him back up. Bio. Hold time with Tifa again. Ooh, we get to talk about cross slash this time. 70. So potion him again. I'm also going to cure Cloud because I'm scared. Tifa's ATB bar emptied, so I went ahead and let her refill. That bio missed entirely. That's good to talk about. If bio misses entirely, then you don't have to potion, because he's still at full health. Alright, no poison. This is where you start to get mad at the game. It's okay, it happens. Bio again. There we go, 69. That's a really low roll. That's actually kind of scary. 69.25 is 94, so we got to hit him 5 times. Because that's a lot of hits, I would now, at this point, I would mini Tifa as well in order to assist with the hits. So we got to hit him 5 times. No poison ticks have occurred yet. Now, Cross Slash paralyzes the boss. And so that's very important to know also. This can make the fight easier, maybe harder though. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's the second poison tick. There you go. So at the end there, you noticed I waited a little bit before putting Cloud's turn in. Turn in. The reason is that I knew that paralysis was ending soon. And with paralysis ending soon, I didn't want Materia Keeper to break paralysis and then get a turn right away. So I made sure to delay Cloud's attack until I knew that the third poison tick would queue up during Cloud's attack animation. And that way he doesn't have a chance to get a turn. The 1 damage hits him down to quad 7s, and then the poison tick for quad 7s is already queued. And that's like the fight. That's like the thing with the fight, is that whole idea of thinking about the last poison tick, and the idea that you want to get it to queue during your turn so that he doesn't get that quad 7's turn, you know? So there you go. So once again, I do think it's important to perhaps reiterate that if you roll 99, then you got to do that first thing that we said. Okay, let's try to get a Trine opener to happen. Because I think I've shown... Okay, one more good example. One more good example, and then we'll talk about some other stuff. Ooh, he's trining. Okay, so this is what happens with Trine. You cure the party, then do Big Guard. If he's doing... so here's the deal. This is why you have to wait for the Big Guard. Because if you queue up Big Guard right away, and then he trines, your cure only cures half as much. And so Trine openers are kind of rough because 2 bad things happen. First of all, the party almost dies, and so you have to queue up a Cure All with Kate before you Big Guard, so that the cure goes off for enough damage. Then the other problem is that Tifa is she got her limit break. Which is also bad because that's not going to work for our 99 roll. We have to get rid of her limit. And so, kind of what you have to do here is you have to wait trick through the cure, through the Big Guard, and because Tifa just got her limit, she's going to get her next turn really fast. So all you really have to do is back out of Cloud's menu, flip over to Tifa, and just fire off her limit break, and then potion it. Maybe even potion it with Kate Sith. So I would say pop out here, have her just throw that out, potion it away, and then get ready to bio, and then kind of proceed as normal, except now you have to remember to mini Cloud still. So we got 70. So now we can potion the boss. We can mini Cloud. Now, another thing to worry about is if Tifa gets knocked into critical health again. Ooh, mini miss. That's no good. Okay, we rolled the 70. Oops, I didn't mean to put that through. So I'm holding time on Cloud now. We rolled 70, 25. We got to hit him 4 times. 4 is actually enough, especially with 1 tick already happening, that I'm going to attempt to mini Tifa here. So that's 1 with 1 tick. We're on. Oh, that missed. 2 with 1 tick. I let too much ATB flow there. 3. And then, oh! Oh! And that's, okay, now it's time to talk about something else. So, what just happened is Cloud missed the 1 damage. And so, the poison tick did not hit for quad 7s, because he was at 777-8 max HP. That's real shit luck. That's really bad. That is basically potentially run killing. At this point, we now, if you wanted to continue at this point, you've got a tough road ahead of you. First of all, we need to cure Materia Keeper back up to full HP for us to try our thing again. The other thing that we need to do is we need to cure Tifa because she's almost dead. And then we also, that's it. And then we basically start over. Now, if you had any elixir, that would make this part just a little bit easier. If you had an elixir, you could elixir Materia Keeper, and that would bring him up to full HP. Part of the reason I showed that safety strat earlier is you could use that elixir now or the one from the stairs if you took stairs. You can use that on Materia Keeper to make that part go much easier. But instead... yeah, so if Cloud misses that attack, that's very bad. And so it's actually very much worth pointing out at this point that a lot of people, when they send in that final attack for that 1 damage, if you're doing it that way, many people prefer to mini Tifa instead of Cloud. I mini Cloud because you can do it right away before Tifa's attack, and I think it's a little bit faster if it works out, because Cloud's attack animations I think are faster, and Tifa, you can just do it right away before the Tifa attack, so that's nice, right? That's why I mini Cloud. However, it is safer to mini Tifa because she doesn't miss. Cloud has a very small chance to miss. Tifa doesn't miss. And so that could potentially stop that particular run killer from happening. But hopefully that at least showed you how to deal with a Trine opener. That's why you don't big guard right away, is so that you can cure the party, fire off the beat rush, potion the beat rush off, then mini Cloud, then do your bio, and it's a big problem. Also, there is a crit hell combo opener, which is kind of similar. You have, well, what that does is it just kills the party member. So instead of cure all with Kate Sith, if Kate Sith or Cloud died, you would Phoenix down the other with the other, right? And then big guard with Tifa. If Tifa died, then you kind of have to prage a little bit, because I don't think that you should big guard with Kate, because then you might not have enough MP to mini. And then also, this would also be another point to bring up as well. If you don't like the exact way that I'm doing it with mini Cloud, bio with Cloud, attack with Tifa, you can hop on the FF7 Discord and have a wonderful conversation with people like Kuma here that have all kinds of wacky ideas of different ways that you can do this fight. Let's talk about one of those, for example. Another thing that you can do is do 75 damage and then high potion him before the 5th tick. So remember how a potion delays enough time for a poison tick to happen, which we showed that right here. He is currently on 2 ticks and 99 damage on him, so he is in quad 7s right now, and we've held time to Weight Trick. But if we release time, he gets his turn, right? But if we potion, that's enough wasted time to get the poison tick to happen. There's another strat that you can do where if you do 75 damage to him instead of 99, then he gets hit by 4 ticks of poison, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then after the 4th tick of poison, you throw a high potion on him, which will bring him up to quad 7s with the 500 and queue up that 777 tick. So that's another way that you can do the fight. Another even wackier thing that you can do, and this is Morningcraft's strat, is if you have Cloud's poison instead be on his armor, you can put Elemental Ifrit on his Buster Sword, which raises his raises his magic a little bit, and it makes it more likely that you'll roll 99, which is fast, because then you don't have to do any mini hits. But it also introduces the chance that you could roll 100. But if you roll 100, well, the boss absorbs fire. So then you just hit him with a mini cloud for 1 healing, right? So basically MC's strat is instead of rolling from like 94 to 99, instead you roll like 97 to 101 or something, you know? And then you can either mini Cloud or Tifa, depending on whether you need to damage him up to 99 or heal him down to 99. You know what I mean? So that's the way that MC does it, right? There's all kinds of wacky ways that you can do this fight. But I think that about covers it, I think. The fight, you know? Like, the fight is this whole idea of once he's poisoned, you need to play with how much ATB ticking, how much poison ticking you're allowing him to do versus how much you're hitting him with your mini characters. One more for good measure. One more good one to finish the tutorial with. We'll see what he does here. How is he opening? He's opening with just a regular attack on Tifa. So, we queued up our big guard, our mini on Cloud. We're holding time on Bio to Weight Trick a second turn with Tifa. Here goes the mini. It missed. We'll just have to do another one. No poison, so we'll potion. And then once Tifa's bar empties, we'll let time pass. So that now... See, both Kate and Tifa got an extra turn there. And now we're able to hold time here. Alright, 72. 72-26, so we only have to hit him once. So now we let, like, as much time as possible flow. For tick number 1. Here's... Okay, so tick number 2 is queued now. So now, delay, attack. And there you go. And now, one more thing that I do, and this is to get into the world map manipulation that we're about to do, is normally when I split, I haven't talked about splitting at all in this tutorial so far. Normally on bosses, what I do is I split as I confirm the spoils here. Boom, I would split like right there as I'm mashing. Materia Keeper, I split just a little bit differently. What I do there is I split when the quad 7s flash. When I know that the quad 7s are flashing, boom, I split with that. The reason being that at that point you can look over at your RTA and see what time your split was. And because the next world map manipulation comes up really fast on you. Here is the world map manip sheet that we're about to get into. And the thing is, you don't have a ton of time to look, to predict what your manip is going to be. And so the reason that I split on the quad 7s is because then during the fade out and during the spoils, what you can do is look at your RTA time and take 10 seconds off of it. And if you take 10 seconds off of it, that should line you up about with what your manip is going to be. Let's say you took 10 seconds off of it and you see 2:39:17. Like the split was at 2:39:27. So you take you take 10 seconds off of it, and that would be 2:39:17. You could then look over here and you could aim for one of these, right? And I would say to myself, okay, 18, 19, or 20, right? And then out of the fight, as I'm doing that, I'm also buffering down right and mashing circle to grab this counter materia and to exit the screen. The counter materia is actually completely optional. You don't need it. I like it, and I use it in my menus, so it's going to be part of the tutorial, but the counter materia is optional. So anyway, mash and circle, down and right, switch to buffering up and right, and then, so what you want to do is buffer up and right, switch to up, and then somewhere around here, hit your menu. So that's boom, boom, and then like menu about right there as you're kind of swinging around. And at that point, your in-game time should be just about where you predicted. Of course, it's not in this example because I don't actually have splits that I'm looking at, and this is tutorial times, but you know what I mean. So split on the quad 7s flash, 10 seconds off RTA, that will predict where your world map manipulation is going to be. And so now, back to past dash to talk about the world map manipulation.